Okay, so it started this way. Kenny Knutson, halfway through COVID season, and Kenny came up and said, hey, we'd like to have a Bible study on just what is the biblical definition of manhood and masculinity.
I think it started basically in my Spanish class. My partner, who I was talking with, we were talking about a book or something, and she just would use toxic masculinity and masculinity like interchangeably. Like there wasn't a difference between toxic masculinity and masculinity. And it just like was wearing me down thinking about, because all these issues, whenever I discuss these things, it's in my like literature classes. And I was like, it'd be really nice to talk about it with someone who, from the church, who like is an older guy.
Old.
Sorry, no.
So I thought, well, let's do that. That's a good idea. Who do you think would come? Kenny came, Justin came, and then all of a sudden Justin's brother's there and Elliot's there, and then other guys would come along too. So about every other week we'd meet and go from there.
So I think I already knew Spencer a little bit, and so I ran into him at one of the church meetings, and I asked him what he thought about the idea, and he kind of followed up from there.
First, we eat a lot of food.
The food is always good, like every time, just really good food.
Delicious.
But the one thing is there's just never enough of it.
I would say I probably make enough on those evenings for at least, I'd say 12 to 15 people's worth of food, normal portions of food. But that's not how many people come. It's about half that.
Like the first few times we always end up going home just starving.
What we've had rice. We had Asian night the other night where we had, the fried wontons and some kind of a stir fry.
I don't know. He's like, yeah, shrimp scampi. We're gonna have this, and like our mouths are watering. Like, I'm not eating lunch. I want some of the, But that's a mistake. You want to make sure you're pretty full by the time you go there, because there's just enough to make you hungry. At least in the case of Justin.
I used to eat a lot of food when I was young, a young man, college age. I would eat so much food, and it never hit me that that was unusual when you have the ability to eat massive amounts of food. And then I got old and I don't eat as much anymore. And then I see Justin. Justin can eat so much food. It's amazing.
What do you study? Okay. So basically what we've been going through is mostly biblical manhood is the overall theme. Like we look through the Danvers statement for one. That's something we look through. Maybe some of you guys have heard of that. I didn't. Which also, in comparing it to along the Danvers statement, just a whole bunch of just biblical themes and going through the Bible and jumping all around in there.
Figures from the Bible that exemplified manhood and what characteristics they had. And then what separates those characters from the Bible, or those people from the Bible and people from real life, the social norms of the times, I guess.
Sometimes we don't study the Bible. Sometimes we just talk. But, well, for me, let's see. I guess. So one of the things that I have enjoyed so much is just that me and Justin at least are some of the student leaders for InterVarsity. So we go to InterVarsity and we're planning events and we're trying to lead Bible studies, and it is just so nice to come to someone else's house who's cooking the meal, who's leading us in the material, and I can just goof off. That has been just so refreshing. So that has been, really nice with that. And actually, I've used some of the things we talked about to have further conversations with my compañero de clase, my Spanish classmate. So
I don't know. Any closing thoughts I would have would be, it's been fun. It wasn't hard. I enjoy it. And I really don't do much, because all I do is make the food, and then the young guys come over and they kind of drive it themselves. So I'd say don't be bashful if you think that you might just have some way to be useful to something within the church body. A study, whether it's daycare or teaching Sunday school or be involved in the music ministry. There's a lot of opportunities, I think, and they don't all have to be in the church body physically in the building. They could be outside in your own home.